Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with the big announcement that we are over 12 billion transactions. Well, at least 3 days ago we were. Now we are just trailing over almost 12.4 billion transactions. By the time that this video does go live, we will be over 12.4 on our way to 12.5. It's pretty exciting to see these transactions. I know to most people it's not very exciting. Don't worry, I will go over that in this video as well. And I will talk to you guys about the truth behind these transactions and why for those HBAR holders out there, you should all be extremely bullish. So with that in mind, let's go over here to Metrics. So as we look at Metrics right now, year to date, so within 6 months, we are almost at 10 billion transactions. The max TPS has grossed over 10.5K, average TPS sitting at about roughly 650. If we go to the last month, so every single month now, we are basically doing well over 2 billion transactions. Average TPS in the last month is about almost 1,000 TPS, which is incredible to see. And just recently, we start to spike up to about roughly 1.2 to 1.6 almost, which is very exciting. Now with this, we are also still seeing a great amount of account growth within the last month. For an example, we are sitting at about roughly 135,000 created accounts. Total accounts is sitting at about roughly 5.56. And also active accounts is sitting at about roughly 106.5. I'm very excited about these statistics because one, not only are we seeing massive explosions worth of transactional demand on Hedera and have been ever since the new year. So it seems like, hey, with the new year came a new Hedera, which is the fact that we have a ton of growth here. It's great to see. And I know a lot of people are going to compare this to price and say, well, where the hell's the price with these transactions? Like, what's going on with these transactions? Are they real? Are they fake? What's going on? They're real transactions, real world use case transactions. The biggest problem with the demand of the token is just the price of the transactions, which I will talk about. But here you have Hedera compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yeah, take a quick look and really see just how fast the growth has happened. Like I said, in the new year is when all of these big transactions started to happen. Before 2023, like we were sitting at about roughly 2 billion transactions. So almost added 10 billion transactions this year, like I said. Now, the problem is that most people don't see this as a huge accomplishment, but to me personally, I do. I said people are upset that the massive transaction demand on Hedera isn't changing the value of HBAR. I want you all to realize this is because of how cheap it is to use the network. Yes, short term, it won't change the value of HBAR, but think long term. And this is the big thing, right? A lot of people get caught up in this, this short term mindset. And I get it. Listen, we are here to make money. We're not here to, sit and watch an asset go sideways. But I want you guys to understand that, long term on a lot of these investments is like 5 to 10 years. And I want you guys to take a step back real quick and think about how short 5 to 10 years is compared to those that are willing to work 40 plus years to wait and retire. The reason why I bring this up is because I believe that HBAR is one of those assets that is a blue chip within the space and will most likely retire a lot of individuals from the value side of things. But also, this is like one of those investments that I look at as it's almost right on par with investing into Apple early on or Amazon early on. Because again, when I look at the third generation crypto technology, I believe that Hedera will be that technology. I think that this is extremely disruptive. And with all of the wide range agenda being pushed from like the IMF, the World Economic Forum, and all of the big elite organizations outside of crypto, it's right on par with what Hedera is doing in terms of, sustainability, low cost, things like that is crucial, especially for a lot of these enterprises that are also pushed within that agenda. Because as an enterprise name, right, there's a lot of regulations that you need to follow, and sustainability regulations are a big deal. They are a very costly deal as well, because if they don't reach sustainable guidelines, guess what? They have to pay in. So them achieving this through technology like Hedera is a big game changer. This is also why I said the main reason why Hedera will achieve mass enterprise adoption is because of how efficient it is for low-cost transactions. One enterprise use case is doing more transactions than any other network out there, and 1,000 plus TPS. Imagine 10, 100, 1,000. You get the picture. You are still early. Be a visionary and understand where this market is headed. And yes, we were preaching Hedera and HBAR going back 2 years ago. Today, it's the same exact picture. I still believe that this thing is a blue chip household name. And I think with what's happening outside of crypto as well around, regulations and creating these frameworks to, usher in digital assets, Hedera is going to be one of those legitimate utility assets, because guess what? It's already being utilized. Utility is the future. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but it is. And when we look at this, right, you could see the pieces falling into place. Here's from Hedera. The potential of digital assets and DLT to improve business practices, advance sustainability, again, that's the big one here, and fundamentally transform the economy necessitates an urgent push for more regulatory clarity in Web3. And from the chief of policy at Hedera herself, she actually wrote this article, and it's the opinion of, as the House readies a crypto bill, what's needed to keep the US at the forefront of Web3 innovation. Public blockchains can pave the way for Web3 innovations to transform the global economy and human lives. And as we do scroll down, we see a few things being mentioned here in terms of why public blockchains need digital assets. And they also do talk about Web3 in itself, comparing it to Web 2, comparing it even to Web 1. The future here around Web3 could very well be large, right? I've talked about it in the past. I've talked about the predictions of $144 trillion, I believe it was, that got projected by M13. I believe that is the company. They did a breakdown of comparing Web 1 to Web 2 to Web 3. And if we do continue on the path in terms of the adoption cycle, Web 3 will gross $100 trillion plus in value. And again, I've said it since day one on this channel that I believe that crypto will be a $100 trillion plus asset class. It's only a matter of time. And as we do look at this, right, like the things that are going to bring it to that is mass adoption, but also the major innovations that are being built within these networks. And they do mention a few things here. They mention Starling Lab. They also mention the Dovu Marketplace, Atma.io, Everywhere Monitors, and these are just 4 out of a massive variety of projects being built out on Hedera. I've talked about it many times. As we do look at Hedera and as we do look at regulations, there's a few things in plan already. I've gone over documents from the IMF, from the FSB, from the BIS. The G20 gave the FSB a green light to go and create this global regulatory harmonized approach to regulations, which I do very well think is going to be the possibility. But if that is not the case, right, then we look at Congress, and Congress could technically bring about regulations within the space. Nonetheless, we will see regulations. There's no question about that. Hopefully, it's going to be very innovative regulations that don't stifle innovation. But also, I think that it's going to be players like Hedera that come out of that regulatory battle victorious, right? Which is the utility tokens. And when we do see that, well, that's when everything gets legitimized. That means that these transactions that we're seeing today, this 1,300 TPS, it's going to be a drop of water in a bucket, right? We could easily see 12,000 or maybe even 100,000 plus transactions per second. Remember, Hedera's built and designed to handle that amount of throughput. And it's kind of comical, right? That Hedera is doing this type of volume, yet most people are still asleep at the wheel, right? But soon they will wake up and they will realize that they are on a great path, and they will either stay on course, or most people will fail to realize it and they will take the exit, which is totally fine, right? Like, we're not here. I'm not here to tell you guys, hey, you need to be holding HBAR. No, I don't really care if you hold HBAR or not. I'm here to tell you what I believe is happening, and I'm here to report on the things that are actually happening. And what we've seen in the last 2 years is something incredible. It solidifies that the Hedera team is here to build. They are on par with their mission and their goals. They are not here to hype up nonsense. They are here literally hyping the substance. The substance is here. You could see it on the mainnet. You could see it in the transactional demand. Yeah, you might not see it in price. But like I said, we are still so early. 1,000 plus TPS is an incredible feat within this market because it's nothing that we've seen before. But guess what? When we see 10,000 TPS or 50,000 TPS or 100,000 TPS, can you imagine what this entire space will do? It's going to erupt. And it's all going to be centered out on Hedera. And it's only a matter of time until more and more enterprise applications go live on Hedera. A lot of people were looking at the testnet earlier yesterday. It was sitting at about like 7,000 plus TPS. A lot of people thought that maybe there's going to be another enterprise application that goes online, because usually what that is them testing. The next big one, in my opinion, will most likely be the Coupon Bureau. Could very well be, but I'm still very excited about this. Also, Hedera was recently at DLT Science Foundation's, they're going to be at this event, which is going to be held from the 26th through the 28th. And we do see DLT sustainability in the financial sector. Some very large names here. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which is from the CFTC. Bank for International Settlements, BIS, the head of BIS Innovation Hub. Central Bank of Hungary, European Central Bank, University of Basel, and there's a few other ones here as well. This is just LLP, a few other companies here, and then also we do see Ripple down here and the Bank of Italy. But guess what? Hedera is there as well. And within this entire breakdown of this event, shout out to Danny Ide for this, we do see DLT Science is a public/private educational partnership between tech/non-tech co to start moving this entire ecosystem forward to be able to support startups in this space. And as we do scroll down, we do see the DLT Science Foundation. This is probably one of the first publications in this space, and we're very proud to have them there with us. This is all from Hedera. When we look at it, or when we look at all the way from the beginning here, we have global protocols that are active over here. I'm very happy that we are in a series of layer 1 protocols. And if we look at global protocols, you can see that Hedera is centered down here alongside Ripple, with Algorand, Polygon, Polkadot, Radix, BNB Chain, and Bitcoin, and so many other ones. And then also over here, we do see a few breakdowns, and you even do see Hedera. And we do see that Hedera is an enterprise-grade public network. HBAR is the native energy-efficient cryptocurrency of Hedera that powers the decentralized economy. Whether for a startup or enterprise, a creator or consumer, Hedera goes beyond blockchain for developers to create the next era of fast, fair, and secure applications. And that's exactly what Hedera is, the next era of technology. Very, very bullish on it. And then down here, we're keen to reach out into and connect with the fastest growing Web3 ecosystems in the world. The report provides a unique market analysis of the crypto and Web3 key players in the UAE. We're glad to have contributed to it. Leading universities, including, and they do mention quite a bit here, are already members. The DSF was co-created by Hedera. Interesting. A carbon negative public ledger, Hedera is also a partner in the DSF University Network as well. Then down here, we also do see we'll work closely with the other members to identify the most promising projects to support and ensure that the DLT Sciences grant-giving initiatives are focused on advancing the industry and delivering meaningful impact to the community. And this is Ralph. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I would just butcher it. Currently, Spira World partners consist of well-known football players and other Web3 institutions such as, and they do mention quite a bit, in case you missed it, DLT Science Foundation to host launch event in London this month. I think that this is great. I think it's incredible. And I think that's only a matter of time until people start really taking crypto seriously. And when they do, that's when everything will change, right? That's when utility will shine. That's when Hedera will shine. The top 10 is going to look definitely a lot different at that time, and I cannot wait for that day to come. And I'm sure that a lot of you out there also can't wait, because that's when Hedera's name will be solidified in history as an extremely disruptive technology and the next era of blockchain technology itself. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys have more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.